women, and welcome back to another season and the very first episode of the Freebirthing in Color movement. I am very grateful that this is happening again. It has been a long time coming, a year. The last episode, the last story that I posted was October 3rd, 2024. Now, all of last year, all of 2024 for me was a complete whirlwind. It was a grief portal like no other. And my life has changed completely from everything that I thought that it was going to be, and everything that I thought I was creating for it is not, has not come to be. And that's okay. And in that, all of that craziness, all of that mess, all of that grief, that heartache, that turmoil, that sadness, everything that was there, I had to let this movement go for a time. And I wasn't sure if I would have to let it go forever. It was hard. It was very hard, everything that I went through last year in 2024. And I've really, really, really had to build myself back up to coming back to my original vision, my original ideas, my original plan, if you will, for the life that I wanted to create for this movement specifically. The life that I wanted to create for myself is a whole other story, and that's okay. I'm not going to get into it now because it's a lot. Um, But yeah, we're back. Season 3 is here. And like I said, I wasn't sure if this was actually going to be something, if the free birthing color movement would ever continue. And that really broke my heart and made me feel very sad because I felt as though I was creating something so beautiful for the women in my sphere, in my life, in the tucked away in the corners of the world that really looked to the stories that I was holding and the women that I was sharing on this in this space and on this podcast. And it felt really sad to let that go. But I also needed a lot of time to heal. And I also needed a lot of time to make sure that what I was doing with this was still what I wanted to do, because the whole reason that this came about was when I was on a preconception journey, and the guidance of the spirit baby that was in my life at that time wanted this. She wanted to hear stories of women that looked like me, of women of color, of women with melanin in their skin, of the indigenous women of color around the world, speaking to their truth and their power of how they live their lives, how they do their work in this world, how they bring their children into this world. And that was something that she was seeking as I was seeking it too, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I created this movement, I created this space, I created this podcast to share these really, really beautiful stories. So letting that go was really a hard decision when I had to let things go last year, a year ago. I didn't want to, but I knew that I absolutely needed to. Because if I didn't, everything would have crumbled in a way that would have been irreparable. Whereas letting this movement rest, letting her take some time, letting myself take some time was the best possible thing for me and for this space. And I'm so grateful that I'm back again and that I will be sharing space with women who want to share about how they live, how they work, how they birth, who they are in their power. And I get to be the space holder for women to come onto this platform and to really let themselves be seen as they are meant to be seen. So, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot and a little all in one of what has gone on. And this movement, I feel it's going to stay the same, even though my original vision of creating this for my spirit daughter, that specific spirit that came into my life at the time that she did, she's no longer with me. I did not birth her into the world, and a whole bunch of things happened, in between that time and now. And yeah, there's lots of missing pieces in there, but what I can say and what I will be doing and what I am doing is bringing this aspect of the free birthing in color back to life. The storytelling, the witnessing, the space holding, the amplifying the voices of the women that deserve to have their voices be heard in all facets of what they're doing in their life. And that just brings me so much joy and so much love and gratitude and just overflow in my heart that I get to be the woman that holds this and that gets to create this and that gets to co-create this, because it's not just me. These aren't only my stories. These are stories from women all over the world ready to share. And I'm so excited for it. Without the women that have shared in season 1 and season 2, and still the stories that I was meant to release last year for season 2, that I'm going to release this year for season 3, this free birthing in color movement would be nothing without them, because I can only talk about myself for such an amount of time, but I have not had babies. I have not gone through pregnancy experiences, postpartum experiences. Yes, I have chose to live in my power and work in my power and do these things, but these stories will only take me so far. So it's a co-creative movement that this is the free birthing in color. It is not just me. I give so much love and gratitude to all of the women who have shared and all of the women who will share on this platform. I'm so appreciative of every single woman who has shared her heart, her stories, and just where she's at in the world and what she has done, because these words need to be heard and they're not only my words. So that's what I would like to say in where this is going. And for season 3, I have beautiful stories that are still locked away that are ready to be experienced by all of you. I have new women reaching out to me, which is so exciting because I really did think that there was nothing, and I was coming back to maybe a space where people didn't trust in the fact that I could hold this for them. And I get that if that's how you feel. I also felt that in myself, but I'm ready with the drive and the devotion and the dedication to make this movement become what she is meant to become. And that feels so good for me. It feels so good landing in my heart and in my body. And yeah, where else do I want to go with this? So many things have changed in my life. I am back in Canada, back on the island where I belong. And yeah, I'm just very excited to create what it is that I'm meant to create. Today is August 7th, the day that I'm recording this, and I'm going to put it out as soon as possible because I said that the first news story for season 3 would be posted on Thursday, August 9th. So I've got to hurry up and hold that word, which I will do. And so for this, I've thought over the past, I'd say week and a half, what is it I'm going to say? How am I going to reintroduce myself to the space, you women and listeners in the audience to this space again? And I've had so many stories run through my mind. I've had so many narratives that I could speak to, and I'm really just speaking from the heart of where I am and who I am now after going through everything that I did last year, which seems like a mile away, but also just seems like it just happened yesterday. But with the movement and having to let her go, but still holding on and hoping that she wouldn't die, there are so many things that I want to infuse back into the space that I was creating. So I did have a community that I was opening, that I opened, and I had women in there and we gathered monthly, which was really beautiful. But through the turmoil and the trauma and the everything I was moving through in 2024, I wasn't giving the space justice and I wasn't able to properly nurture this space as it was meant to be nurtured. So coming around now, coming to season 3, this new revival of who the Free Birthing Color movement is, of who I am as the host of this space, as I am as the tender to this space, the woman that tends to the stories and the women that share and the woman that is here. I want to bring that community back, but not right away. It's a lot of work, and I need the time to slowly nurture it to something that will be really foundationally strong for everyone. to become a part of. I want to continue sharing stories, as I said, birth stories, postpartum stories, preconception stories, bleeding stories, work stories, life stories of women who are just doing incredible things because our voices matter and they need to be heard and they need to be amplified and they need to be shared. And that's why the space is here, as I keep saying. And yeah, for season 3, I also want to infuse more solo stories, more things about my life. I love to talk. If you know me, I can talk about anything. I can talk about birth. I can talk about babies. I can talk about blood. I can talk about menopause. I can talk about women, our power, money. I can talk about it all and I can just go and go and go. So it's so beautiful that this is a space where I can do that. And I wanted to have more solo episodes. Pardon me. In season 1 and in season 2. In season 1, I was still a little nervous about sharing so openly and in my truth. Um, Being the host of this space, this movement. In season 2, it just was not in my capacity to share where I was because the grief was so large and so big that I couldn't hold it. And now I really want to share all that I can. I really want to express what is on my heart, what is in my womb, what is on my mind, what is in my body and soul, and really connect deeper with the women that are in the same wavelength as where I'm at and where I'm going, and really be a pillar of this space, of this movement, of this future community that I'm going to create, and really have women know who I am and get to see, the peek behind the curtain and just share in my honesty, share openly, share in my truth, and stay in my integrity. So that's what I want to do. And yeah, this season is going to be really, really great. I'm very excited because there are some stories that were locked away and have been held back, which are so great. I mean, they're all so great in their own ways. Every single story, every single woman that I've spoken to in this movement and on this podcast, their stories are so incredible. But I'm so excited to have these last few stories that have been sitting, in the dusty closet, per se, or as you will, sitting for the last year, really waiting to be heard. And I want them to be heard. So I feel like I've rambled and I've said a lot of the same things, but it's okay because this is my space and I can talk about whatever I want and ramble as much as I want. But what I will say is I'm so excited for everyone who has supported me throughout the beginning, who has come on as supporters as this space has been growing. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you're new, I'm so grateful that you're back. If you are an OG, and I just want to continue. I want to continue sharing and I want to continue holding space and I want to continue creating this and tending to what this movement will be, can be, is all of the things. So if you are a woman of color, an Indigenous woman of color that would like to share your story of birth, of life, living in your power, of the work that you do for women. If you feel like you have something that you want to share, please, please, please reach out to me through the show notes below. Find me on Instagram. The handle is at freebirthing_in color. You can send me an email, freebirthingincolor@hotmail.com, or just come to the IG page, send me a DM, let's chat, fill out the submission forms for the birth stories, for the women's work stories. And I would absolutely love to share what it is that you have, the magic, the beauty, the storytelling, the heart and soul energy that you want to share with me and share with this audience. So please, women, I am calling out to you. Like I said, this space is not just mine. It is a co-creation between me and the women that come on, between me and the women that share their stories. So without you, there is no free birthing in color movement. Without you, this does not exist. And I just have to say how much reverence and honor and gratitude I have for the women that have shared and the women that will share, because it creates such a beautiful beautiful tapestry of words and voices and stories and laughter and tears and sadness and grief and joy and pleasure and everything in between. It's not just me, it's all of you. So I'm so grateful. So please, if you want to share, reach out to me in any of the number of ways that I've mentioned. I would love to hold space for you. And I'm so excited to see what it is that I create, what I build, what I tend to, what is going to unfold and unfurl in this beautiful spiral of my life and in this beautiful spiral of this free birthing in color movement. So thank you so much, women, new women, old women, coming back, women that are just here for a peek. I'm so, so grateful that I get to be the host, the commentator, the woman that is leading this charge, but also co-creating this movement. So thank you so much for listening to this little bit of a trailer. I look so forward to what it is that we will be creating together and how this movement is going to shift and change throughout her life cycle and her span. And from that, I give you all my love and my gratitude. Thank you.